You want to get credit for the work that you do. PC infected with ransomware. All right. What this? What is this? A customer opened a file attachment. Now her PC is infected with ransomware. She's unable to open any of her files. Which action would you take first? Is this from A plus or something? This sounds like one of those one of those IT cert questions. Uh, okay, I mean this is not. I appreciate you submitting all these tickets, but this literally kind of looks like copy paste from some kind of certification. I don't know. Are you like testing my knowledge here or something? I don't know. But you know what? I'll talk about it anyways. So in this case, I'm going to pretend that PC got infected by ransomware and this is the ticket that I've got. I'm not going to go through this, A, B, C stuff. Okay. So just to show you here how ransomware looks like, when you get a ransomware virus, what happens is you kind of get one of these messages, pop-ups. It installs on your computer, it locks your computer, and you get this message that they've locked your computer out and you got to pay them to unlock it. Unfortunately, when this happens, there's nothing you can do. You can, and technically speaking, you can send the money and they'll unlock it, but will they really unlock it? I mean, these people literally infected your computer. They're holding you hostage essentially, and there's nothing you can do really. I would not give anything to these. Just do not deal with these people whatsoever. And the reason I only said like you can pay them and they'll give you, they'll unlock your computer is that in some cases they actually do that. Supposedly. However, do not do it. Do not contact these people in any possible way. So they lock your computer out, and there's nothing you can do. Um, there's nothing you can do in my mind, and that's what I would leave it at. I would, completely wipe your computer out, and because what happens is they're going to prevent you from getting all of your files. Everything's going to be locked. It varies from, different ransomware to some other ones. You can protect your computer from ransomware. Matter of fact, Windows has built-in ransomware protection here. See, you just type in, go to Windows Security, go to ransomware, or to protection, and it's there. So you can certainly enable this. Here we go. We're going to enable it. This is how you prevent your computer from being taken over by a ransomware. That's one thing you can do. However, what I highly suggest you do is get a login that's not administrator login, meaning that when you are logged in as administrator, which what happens with Windows operating system most of the time, when you install it, the account that you get has full administrative privileges, doesn't ask you for a password like it did just now here, because I got to give it permission and then create a strong password for that network, for that administrator login in case you actually need to run something. So if you're, installing something, then you have administrator login, but if a ransomware attacks you, they're not going to be able to access any of that, especially if you're logged in as a regular user. They're not going to be, it's going to be very hard for them, and then you have some chance of actually recovering your data. I have a video that talks about more and how to create a local account that is only for administrator, and that way you can just use that whenever you need to. And when you use your computer regularly, you just use your regular restricted account, regular standard account. You see how I use that there to just even access system properties, let alone do something else. So if you go to user profiles under system properties, you can see all the accounts that are there. And all of this says here is that they are local accounts. However, you can change account type here. See this one that says big power, that's the administrator account. I don't log into it because if I get ransomware or any virus, they already have access to it. You already use your credentials to have full access to everything. And this is the Kobo Man one, which is what I'm logged in right now, which is very, very restricted. So again, I'm going to put a link to that video so you can watch it on how to set this up for yourself to make sure you're secured. So what can you do when you get a ransomware PC, when you get a PC that's infected with ransomware? Let's say a customer calls you. This is how we're going to do with this. I'm not going to do this, ABC thing, because I have videos on A plus certifications, Network plus certifications, some other ones as well. And I already went through this, and this video is specifically how to work for help desk. So if this was a customer, I'm going to reply to the customer and I'm going to say, assuming that you already know that it is infected, I'm going to say, please disconnect your computer from the internet. What I mean by that is from the network, for whether it's local internet, doesn't matter. And when you say internet, it could, for them could mean Wi-Fi as well. Just disconnect it, from the internet. Or actually, no, I'm sorry. I'm going to say, please turn off your computer and we will take a look to see if any data can be recovered. Now, this is wishful thinking here. Any data that can be recovered. Chances are, if within a company somebody gets a ransomware infected computer, there's nothing you can do. There's not even a chance that somebody would be stupid enough to even turn on this computer again, let alone connect it to the network. Okay? So turn it off. That's it. That's it. And they can send it back, and then we're going to wipe everything out. Now, this is just if you're working like on site somewhere and then you actually have physical access and you do, tech support like help desk for them. If you have physical access to this, the best thing you can do is just completely with the DoD wipe the hard drive on it. The DoD means the Department of Defense type of deletion of hard drive. Meaning what happens is it usually deletes the hard drive or formats the hard drive like 3 times over to make sure there's nothing left on it. We wouldn't even attempt to recover any data unless this is somebody like super important, like a director level or something like that. Then somebody who's really good with computers will attempt to recover some of this data. And again, I have a video on how to recover data from virus infected computer. Matter of fact, I'm going to link that as well. It will pop up right now, like in the right top side, where it usually pops up. So if you want to know how to do that, I also have that. I'm going to say someone at the site, or, depends. We're just going to pretend that this person can just bring back the computer or, working at the office. Someone at our site will take your computer and give you a different here's what we're going to somebody at our site will give you a different computer while we work on the virus infected one, or however you want to word this. However you want to word this. Let me see if I typed this correctly. Please turn off your computer and we will take a look to see if any data can be recovered. Someone at our site will give you a different computer while we work on the virus. While we work. You know what? I'm just going to say while we work on it. So whatever you have to do, if you're a help desk tier 1, ask your manager, ask your supervisor, where do we send this? Who's going to handle this? The main thing we need to do is tell the customer, however you want, as soon as possible, please turn off your computer. I'm only typing this here because that's the only option I have. That's the only option I have. And otherwise, I would call them directly and tell them to immediately turn it off because we don't want this virus to spread. All right? And some of these things you can do. And this literally does look like A plus question or something like that. And that's fine if it is. I have a video on A plus, but the main thing you need to worry about as a help desk is that they turn off the computer immediately, and then somebody, not necessarily you, if you're just answering phone as help desk, will handle this from here on out. And again, if you want to watch how to secure your computer, with your administrator password and all of that stuff, again, I've linked the video. Just click on that circle up here. I've linked both of those videos, how to recover data from a virus infected and how to set up your computer so you don't get the virus to begin with. I'm going to resolve it because this is not a real, this is not a real type of help desk ticket that you would typically get. Again, because of the format here. Now, if this person just said my computer is affected by ransomware, then we would keep this ticket open until the issue is resolved, or if we hand over this ticket, meaning send it to somebody else that's on site that will deal with this, we will forward the ticket to them. But since it's not, closed it. It's about all I can do.